We appreciate you doing the show.
Thank you. We're glad to be here, yes.
We mixed up the schedule a little bit on you, so apologize. We'll blame Coach Bowles on that one.
Yeah, when Coach Bowles kind of just walks up to the table, you got to let him do what he does.
That's what he does.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay.
You know, one of the things you learn really quick with childhood cancer is that you pivot.
Yeah.
You learn to pivot a lot. And I think it's a life skill that transcends any diagnosis.
Yeah.
And it also is part of why athletics is a premier platform for raising awareness, because every single time our students take the field or a court, they have to pivot, right? Based on what they see in front of them. And so it takes the same courage to do that our families and our survivors do. So it's an honor to be here.
Well, thank you for coming. Can you elaborate? This is the 10th anniversary of Turn It Gold. Can you elaborate a little bit more on the partnership with athletics and what it means for you to have been doing this for 10 years here at Ohio University?
Yeah, I hope for a day when we don't need to have Turn It Gold games, because we have better addressed as a society childhood cancers and the need for more investment in supporting our kids who are walking through that. And until that point, we're still going to be here. So 10 years later, and now 10 sports at Ohio University, we come together, and we know that when we come together, that there's very little that we can do to diminish the long-term late effects of cancer, or to help families who are in the midst of chemo. What we can do is let them know that no one walks alone, and we can soften the edges of grief, and we can allow hope to rise so that the sense of community grows faster than any cancer cell. And that's a blessed thing that we get to do.
That's awesome.
For people like Melissa McIntyre and her son Braylon and her family, who has walked on this journey.
What does Turn It Gold mean to you?
So Turn It Gold to me, I'll be honest with you, 3+ years ago, I seen the Turn It Gold. I've worked here at the hospital local for years, and absolutely we've supported it, but you think it's never going to happen to you. I'll be very blunt with that myself. I honestly was that oblivious to think it would never happen in our life, and it did. So Turn It Gold to me is to give hope and come together as a community, the love and the support, the guidance. When our son was diagnosed, we had no clue what to expect. We were oblivious again. We both worked in the medical field. We never dreamed what that journey would hold. So having others to help support us, to help guide us, to let us know, like, hey, you're not there. You're not alone. Like, we are here for you. It was amazing to have that. The days were always heavy and difficult, but knowing that we had others and we had the community, the support, it made it a little lighter. So that little bit of lightness each day was our little glimmer of hope, honestly. It kind of got us through. So Turn It Gold's huge to me. When our son was diagnosed, I couldn't do it without the community and the love and the support. Like, Lynn has been tremendous. Like, she's family to me anymore. Lynn's not just someone with Turn It Gold. She's literally friend, a family. And through the diagnosis of cancer, I've also learned, like, some of our closest friends and family, they don't know how to handle it. And you don't fully ever want them to understand it, because that means that they've had to have been diagnosed as well. So I also remind myself that, and I even tell them, like, it's okay to not understand it. But I have found that sometimes friends become strangers and strangers become friends. And it's hard, but it's one of those moments, like Lynn said, that you have to pivot. You can't be bitter from it. You almost have to be thankful that they don't fully understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. What's the relationship with the basketball team been like?
Well, he's amazing. So we met at Passion Work Studio, which, mind you, I love Passion Work Studio. I've drove by it a million times before our son was diagnosed, and I had never ever stopped in there. So I made it a point one time when Lynn had me stop up to pick up some shirts. I caught myself in there for 30 minutes when I should have stopped for like 1 minute. And I walk out with all kinds of stuff, and I come home and my husband's like, "What is that?" Well, that's what happened. Passion Works drew me in. So it's such an amazing art studio, and we had the privilege, we were invited to join the basketball team and to make some artwork for Turn It Gold and to share our story. So our son, Braylon, my husband wasn't able to be there. It was just my son and Braylon. And he has recently underwent a rare form of amputation. He had a rotation plasty surgery back in June due to the cancer was not back, but the allograft in his leg, the donor bone, had failed. Unfortunately, his entire femur was necrotic, so he had to have that leg removed. We were fortunate to do the rotation plasty, which is very rare. You have to look it up. So we were able to share that story with the basketball players, which was it was difficult to share. But it was also so good as a mom. Like, my mom heart felt so good whenever I left there. All of those boys listening, even seeing some of them had tears in their eyes. Like, they were so passionate and came up and told us, like, "Thank you for sharing our story. Like, your son is so brave and courageous." Like, they tell Braylon this. Braylon does not understand it. He looks at you like, "I just did what anyone else would do." I think one day Bray will understand the importance of it and everything he's went through. I think it's slowly clicking. Now he's on campus. He's a senior in high school, but doing CCP. So he's getting out there. But the basketball team was wonderful for us. And they've invited us out a couple times for the Turn It Gold game as well, to allow our family to come out and to honor Braylon. So they are an amazing group. And Coach Jeff is amazing too. He hits me in the heart every time I talk to him. So I also work in ortho, so I get to see a lot of the players in office, and most of them know me as Braylon's mom. And they remember me. Yeah, so they remember me from Passion Works, seeing me out on the court, and they'll even say, "You're Braylon's son, right?" I was like, "Yep." Awesome. So I'm not known as the front office supervisor unless I'm Braylon's mom, and I will take that any day, because that means that we're raising awareness. I know if they know my son's name, they know what journey he's went through, that not just him, but so many kids around here have.
Yeah.
So.
A vivid memory from our visit to the studio with the basketball team. Coach Jeff was talking about how his philosophy is E plus R equals O.
Yep.
Right? Event plus response equals outcome. And Braylon didn't have a choice about childhood cancer. And it's not a diagnosis where if it doesn't quite fit, you can give it back. Right? And he chose to respond in a courageous way on multiple occasions. He chose a rotation plasty, which for a 17-year-old, it's a really difficult choice to make. But that choice, that response, is going to mean the outcome of a quality of life and inspiration for our student athletes. And I will tell you, not just Coach Jeff, but Coach Bob Bolin, who I know is waiting to come up here, has also been an advocate of Passion Works, an advocate of Turn It Gold. He brings his players down. He has his players walk alongside kids who are facing things like pediatric ovarian cancer, things they have over. It's not part of our social imagination. And so I will end by saying thank you to our athletics department, to Julie Cromer, to President Lori Gonzalez. Thank you to the coaches, Coach Bob, Coach Jeff. Today, Coach Tim Albin and his wife have a $2,000 dollar for dollar match, raising money for a local family who's walking through this journey. And all of our coaches have done that. So kudos, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your role in helping us raise awareness about this.
And a little bit, if you're coming to the game, there will be info on the video board on how to participate in that match.
Yes.
Both of you, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for telling your story. I really appreciate it. And the guys on the football team will be wearing some gold accessories as well to help raise awareness as well. So we look forward to our Turner Gold game at 3:30 today. And thank you again so much.
Yes, thank you so
much, guys.